Well, good evening, Coulter Road. As we discussed Sunday morning, as I let you know, we did meet later that afternoon to discuss the phase 2 of our return to in-person worship. That was the property committee, our EPOP policy writing team, and our staff. And we did come to a decision, and we wanted to let you know the details of that decision. Phase 2 will begin on June 28th. That's not this coming Sunday, that's the Sunday following it. So this coming Sunday, we will continue to abide by the guidelines we've been following, including masks being mandatory for attendance. Now, let me move into a little bit more of the details starting that June 28th of the Phase 2. Prior to service guidelines will largely remain the same. So you will please answer the following questions before you decide if you are coming. Number 1, do you currently have a fever or a cough? Have you been sick in the last 14 days, or have you been exposed to someone with the coronavirus in the last 14 days? If any of those are yes, we please encourage you to stay home just for the safety of yourself and others, so that will continue to be the same. A more practical kind of thing that we've been following, please try to use the restroom before you come. That just keeps us from overwhelming the facilities here, because we are limiting the restrooms that we have available. You will absolutely be able to use the restroom as you need to here. We just want to maintain that and to keep it as least needed as possible so it's not overwhelmed. And then lastly, go ahead and bring your smart device, that's a phone or a tablet, smartphone or tablet, to access our order of service and bulletin, because we will still not be providing a paper bulletin yet in Phase 2. Now, in our attendance guidelines is where you will see really what's different. The big question on the table, I know for most people, is the mask. Will the mask be required? Moving forward in Phase 2, the mask will be optional. It will no longer be mandatory. It will be optional to attend. Now, social distancing will not be optional. We will continue to require social distancing at all times in the parking lot, in the foyer, in the sanctuary, but how it's put in place will be a little bit different. We are putting some personal responsibility into this. You will no longer be escorted to a seat. You will no longer be guided to a seat. We are asking you to maintain a social distance of 6 feet between family units. We will continue to only use every other pew. Those will be marked off just like we have done. But we will ask you to just have some personal responsibility, have the liberty to be able to sit where you would like, but at least 6 feet from others. Just like we've done, you will remain in your assigned seating largely. Like I said, if you need to go to the restroom, absolutely go to the restroom. But just try to make things as easy as possible to stay in your seat throughout the service, and then we will exit like we do in a funeral service, one row at a time, one family unit at a time. It's just what's easiest to manage the exit and the social distancing that is involved in that. And then please remember to maintain your social distancing as you leave, going through the parking lot, putting your offering in the receptacles at the back of the sanctuary. All of that will stay the same. Now, I understand for some of you, for many, these masks are really important, and you would really like to keep that mandatory to feel safe about coming. And we sure understand that. We want to respect that. We want to honor that. We understand that your risk factors may be different from others. Your opinions on this may be different, and that's perfectly fine. We want to honor that. So, to accommodate that, we have created an optional service in the chapel where masks will be mandatory. If you went to attend with a mask mandatory service, you can attend in the chapel. The service will be streamed at the exact same time the worship service is going on in the sanctuary, but the mask will be mandatory, and you'll be seated socially distanced 6 feet apart from others. What we will need from you, if you are planning on attending in this way, is to let us know that you're coming so that we can meet you at the side door there by the chapel, so that you can enter in a different location from those that may not be wearing masks. And you can come right into the chapel right there and into your service. So let us know for that reason, and so the chapel doesn't get overwhelmed, so we know exactly how many people are coming. You'll have your own restrooms that you can use behind the fellowship hall, where only those who are wearing masks at all times can use those. Like I said, we just want to honor what others' opinions are on this. We understand that risk factors are different for everyone, and we just want to do what's best for our church family as a whole. Now, speaking of that, do keep in mind that as medical professionals have let us know, there may be a second, third, even fourth wave of this virus that comes through, and we fully reserve the right to be able to scale things back as we need to. We're prepared to do that, to go back to our mass mandatory services, to go back to our streaming only services if needed. We're prepared to do that if we need to. We want to keep you all safe, but we also want to worship together. We're really excited about this phase 2. We hope that you can join us, but if you can't, we sure understand. Please continue to stay at home. The live streaming will continue on Facebook. And we just encourage you to do whatever the Lord presses on your heart. We sure understand there are different opinions and different factors going into this decision for everyone. But God's blessings be on you. We hope to see you Sunday. And thank you so much for being a part of our church. Be blessed.